All right, welcome back, crime fighters, for another edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted, the program where you get to help make Calhoun County a better and safer place by helping us lock up some of the bad guys. I'm Chris Wright, your host, along with Calhoun County Sheriff Matthew Wade.
It's always good to be on the show, Lefty.
Lefty. I don't know what you mean by Lefty.
Oh, I'm sorry. You look like somebody else I know.
We'll have the video from Lefty, whoever that happens to be, coming up later on in the show. If you haven't seen the latest Lefty video, our old friend is back. He's got longer hair than I do, Sheriff.
Yeah, he looks a little better than you do.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about our viewers and what they've done, the folks they've helped us catch.
Always helped us out. 2 arrests this week brings our count up to 4,603 people put in jail, all because you were willing to help us, and for that we are forever grateful for your partnership.
All right, today's a big day. It's been kind of delayed, but here we are. As we're taping this program today, kids are back in school. You know, my son has been out of school since March, and I asked him, I said last night, I said, "Son, are you ready to go back to school?" And he said, "No, but I miss my friends." Mm-hmm. So I think it's one of those things where they're ready to get back to school. They might not want to do the work, but they're ready to get back to some normalcy and be around their friends and have some routine back in their life. There will be some good things from that. We've got some hazards to watch out for as well, but there will be some good things from that. Yeah, it will be. And just one thing I remind everybody, you know, be kind. You know, we're all trying to do the best we can to get through this. You know, being the mass police or the tattletales on everybody for doing something doesn't foster a good relationship. There's ways to handle it, and there's ways to encourage people to do the right thing. You know, we just got to be kind. And everything, if you do everything in kindness, it'll all work itself out. So we're all trying to do the best we can. The teachers are, the administration, the students, you know, we all just want to be able to live life in a little bit of normalcy. So whenever something crosses your mind, Facebook post or something else, ask yourself, is it kind, is it beneficial? You know, if it's not, just keep it to yourself. All right. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the first half of this week's lineup, see if you can recognize somebody and help us locate them. And we'll also have a guest on the show this week that actually was in that new Lefty video. That's right. So we got stars abound today. Yeah, we will be back in just a few moments here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Hi, I'm Nancy Hilton with the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office. You need to know how to identify when you are being scammed. You can unwittingly become involved in a money laundering scheme. Your activity in this will identify you as a money mule, meaning you are moving money for someone involved in criminal activities. These activities are credit card fraud, lottery scams, romance scams, even the Social Security scam and other types. The money could also be proceeds from drug trafficking and human trafficking. If you are asked by someone to open a bank account in your name to process or transfer funds in any fashion, do not do it. These offers could be under the guise of work-at-home jobs or even an online romantic relationship. Other methods to move money is also by wire transfers, loadable money cards, Western Union, MoneyGram, and even the mail. If you do this, you could become entangled in their crime. Break contact with this person immediately. For more information online, check out the websites fbi.gov or ftc.gov or call me at the Sheriff's Office, 236-6600.
Okay, let's take a look at this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. Bradley Bryan of Weaver is wanted on a failure to appear warrant for possession of a controlled substance and use and possession of drug paraphernalia, as well as bond revocation on 2 counts of possession of a controlled substance. Ezekiel Cruz of Anniston wanted on a failure to appear warrant for sexual abuse. Daniel Formby of Birmingham wanted on a probation violation for possession of marijuana, 1st degree. Matthew Joes of Heflin wanted on bond revocation for burglary, 2nd degree. Tavares Jenkins of Pell City wanted for failure to pay for possession of marijuana, 1st degree. Devin Lee of Bessemer is wanted on a failure to appear warrant for burglary, 3rd degree. We've got more that we'll talk about coming up in just a few minutes. If you have information that can help us find one of these individuals, please call the Sheriff's Office at 256-236-6600. All right, we will have the second half of the lineup coming up in just a few minutes, but right now we get a chance to meet the person who is responsible for turning the sheriff into the amazing physical specimen that he has become. the Olympic champion to be.
I like to say I'm chunky but funky.
Hey, I love it.
Right. So neither of us is the perfect specimen of physical health, but we're doing some things to try to get us back a little bit better.
You know, it's always to have those hopes and dreams of being perfect, but you know, unless you're 16, 17 years old, you're probably not where you want to be in life as your health in your own mind, but that doesn't mean that you can't do things that make you a healthier person and make you live longer. And Candice, you know, I'll tell you a story about how I got started. How I met Candice was a lot of people from the sheriff's office was going to her studio, and this is probably 2017 maybe. And so they told me to come. I said, I'm going to come. So I'm driving by the road, and I'm driving down the street on Noble Street, and I see all the people from the sheriff's office in it, and I get cold feet, and I just keep going. They're like, where are you going? I'm like,
where is he going?
I had a phone call. I can't make it, you know. So, but the next day I actually did come, so I understand how nerve-wracking it can be to try something new, but it's so much fun to do, and there's more than guys come than just me, but not a lot of guys come, but I can tell you this, it makes you feel so much better when you exercise, and the things that she does is a total body workout, and I've never been where I wasn't challenged, but when I was done I felt better for it and was glad I did it. So so those people out there that think, you know, I need to get I need to get to this level of fitness before I go to fitness class, well, that defeats the whole purpose. The most important decision to make is to actually have the courage to show up, which most of the time is the hardest decision. The decision that keeps people from going is just for the fact they go, well, I don't want to go, I'm going to be embarrassed, I can't do this, or I can't keep up. So
Candice, a lot of people know you as Fit's Possible Candice.
Yes.
So this is a challenging time for people trying to stay healthy or get healthy, but there are things that you can do.
There's definitely things you can do. And the great thing about it is one of the best things to combat everything that's going on is getting outside and getting moving. You know, the more you move, the more your mind is set on a place to where it's unstoppable, and your body is too. I literally had my little girl 9 months ago, and you know, I worked out the whole time, but I still was over 200, almost 230 pounds when I had her. So you know, you're looking at somebody that's been fighting to lose 50 pounds over the last 9 months and get my body back, and still getting it back. But the goal, you know, so often everybody's goal is to lose weight, or you want to, you know, I got to get to this goal weight. It's more about getting healthy. It's, I want to be a healthy person, because if you become a healthy person, your body will become healthy, your mind will become healthy, your home will become healthy, because it's not something you're trying to get to, it's something that you become. And it's never going to be something that you'll stop, because it's something that you breathe and are.
Yeah, now we recently caught you out in the wild out at Chocolaca Park. Lefty was out there working on his latest video, and you had a little encounter. We've got the video now, the latest Lefty video, our old friend Lefty that we met last year, learning about how he really shouldn't be driving in the left lane all the time. Now he's talking about adjusting to life in 2020, so here's that video. Hey y'all, it's Lefty again. Last time I talked to y'all, the sheriff had to give me a lesson in safe driving. I promise, Sheriff, I'm not camping out in the left lane anymore. I'm still Lefty, but I'm driving the right lane when I can, all right? That was way back when social distancing was just something I tried to do with my in-laws. And Zooming? That's what we did after church to try to beat the Methodists to the buffet table, am I right? That seems like a long time ago. Nowadays, everything's changed. Everybody's washing their hands all the time, but we still won't shake their hand, will we, right? My ticket to the Bonnaroo Festival, that's worth less than toilet paper, which is actually worth quite a bit. And they're even messing with my football, y'all. Come on now, football! And to top it all off, when we do get out of the house, which is too rare, we don't recognize anybody because they're all wearing a mask, right? Now, I don't even wear a mask on Halloween, so I ain't been doing it. But the governor says we got to, and even the president put one on and called it patriotic, right? So, ain't nobody more patriotic than Lefty. So, I guess I'm gonna have to put one on. What do you think? My granddaughter picked it out for me.
How you doing, gorgeous?
Oh, seriously, you gonna keep 6 feet away from me, but you gonna love on her. Didn't you see where she just put her nose? I always get to church real early ever since the Johnsons showed up with their 16 grandkids and stole my old robe. Oh, excuse me.
Lefty, you don't need your mask in the pool.
Hey, Lefty, looking good. You too, Sheriff.
You know what? Wearing a mask ain't really all that bad. And it's like they say, you know, it ain't really for me, it's for you, it's for everybody else. Anyway, I've always considered myself somewhat of a daredevil, but I'd hate to think that something I did got somebody else sick, so I don't know what I'd do if that happened. So I'm gonna be wearing a mask at least until this is all cleared up, right? And you know what, there's a whole bunch of people around here that I really like and care about, so if you don't mind, do me a favor for old Lefty, and y'all wear a mask too. I'd appreciate it.
All right, so there we go. Good job in there, Candice and Sheriff.
Such a hard job.
You know, I wish I had a little larger role in that. You know, I didn't get a chance to fully display my acting skills in that. But Lefty did a good job.
Right. We need to take a quick break, but we're going to come back and talk with you some more, Candice, about making sure folks can stay healthy mentally and physically here. We will be back, and we will also have the second half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. All right, here we go with the second half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. If you know where some of these individuals can be found, please call the Sheriff's Office at 256-236-6600. Jeremiah Groshong of Anniston is wanted on a probation violation for theft of property, first degree. April Weber of Collinsville wanted on a failure to appear warrant for obstruction of a failure to appear warrant for obstruction of government operations and rendering false alarms, second degree. Hannah Canada of Talladega wanted on a probation violation for possession of a controlled substance. Blake Page of Jacksonville wanted on a probation violation for theft of property, first degree. Shannon Uten of Jacksonville wanted on a probation violation for theft of property, third degree. And Terry Henry of Heflin is wanted for violation of a domestic violence protection order. If you can help us locate any of these individuals, please call 256-236-6600. All right, coming up in just a little bit, we'll talk about some property crimes and see if you can help us out with any of those. But right now, we're talking with Candice Rivers from Fit's Possible. Candice, about staying healthy or getting healthy here in the time of COVID in 2020 with everything that we've got going on this year. And a lot of people, Candice, think that trying to make a physical change in their lives is something that requires an hour out of every day. But that's some people do spend an hour working out every day, but that's not necessary, is it?
It's not. You know, studies have proven, this isn't just Candice thinking this, but so many studies, just 10 minutes, 3 times a week of doing an activity for a consistent period of 10 minutes can lower your blood pressure, will lower your resting heart rate, which can give you 2 to 7 more years of life. You know, what we want to know is, like, every car, you've went and bought a car, I'm sure most of us have, and there's a warranty for about how many miles? Around 100,000 miles. They're guaranteeing that car. Well, our heart has a guarantee on it as well. Let's just put in the atmosphere, this isn't a real number, let's say 1,000,000 beats. Our heart is guaranteed to beat 1,000,000. Well, if we have a high heart rate, and it's been high since we were young, those heartbeats are taking years off of our life because our warranty was only for 1,000,000. So if we have that high heart rate and we don't get it down, we're using years and taking years off of our life every second that it beats. And the more we get it moving, because it's a muscle, the bigger it gets, the less pumps it needs. to be able to get the blood to the body. So that literally gives you more years with the ones you love. It gives you more years doing what you love, and it gives you more years of enjoying the life that you're living.
And that's the key for me, because it's not to me the number of years that I have, it's what I'm able to do with the years that I have. And you're talking about those cars there. Yeah, I may have a car that I keep for 20 years, but if I'm having to take it into the shop every 3 weeks to get something done on it, and I'm not able to trust it to drive out of town, I'm not getting the most out of that car.
Exactly.
And I want to be able to trust my body to go out of town and do things.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And that's what it does. I mean, it gives you the chance to where when you do have grandkids, which I've heard that it's one of the best things outside of having kids, you can chase after them. You can take them outside. You can enjoy being with your loved ones. It's not something that where you just have to sit. And a lot of times we just try to build the mountain too high when it comes with fitness and wellness. And I encourage, add things to you instead of worrying about taking things from you. So add an apple a day. Add a cup of water before your coffee in the morning, or before every time you drink a cup of coffee. Add things into you, because the more good you get in you, the less bad you have room for it. So that's what we often we gotta stop, gotta stop. We know as soon as I tell you no, what do you want to do?
I love that philosophy, because every time I take something out, I always fill that hole. But if you go at it from the other angle, okay, this is what I need in my life. I need more water in my life. I need this. Then naturally we're going to start losing some of the things that we don't need, right?
Oh, that's the goal.
Yeah, so that works out great. Candice, we're about out of time, but if people want to get in touch with you to get some specific personal instruction, you can help with that, right?
Absolutely. I have online programs where they can do it right from their home. They don't need anything besides themselves. They are all they need to get healthy and happy. You can find me on Facebook and on Instagram, which is Fits Possible Candice or Candice Rivers. And then they also can go to www.fitspossiblecandice.com, and they can find all this different information about me and about how to get on these programs, because I want to help the world get healthy and happy. My goal is to reach 10 million people, to help them relive the lives that they were called to live.
Awesome. Well, thanks for reaching however many we have watching today.
Amen.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
We will be back in just a moment. We will have the Crime Stopper segment of the show here, talk about some property crimes that we could use your help with, and we will have our Crazy Criminal of the Week when we come back on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. Okay, let's talk about some recent property crimes and see if you might be able to help us solve one or more of them. Between August 8th and August 9th, a hay bale spear attachment for a Kubota tractor was stolen from a location on Highway 278 East in Piedmont. Between 2:30 a.m. and 3:15 a.m. on August 11th, a store located on Highway 431 in Alexandria was burglarized. 2 persons were seen taking an unknown amount of tobacco products. On August 13th, a car was illegally entered while parked at a residence located on Old Downing Mill Road in Anniston. A purse with its contents and an American Tactical .45 caliber handgun were stolen. On August 13th, an unknown person entered into the crawl space of a residence located on Rocky Hollow Road in Jacksonville. Left behind was a bag with part of an animal carcass. If you have information about these cases, please call the Sheriff's Office at 256-236-6600.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
And that last one that we just had there might have been our crazy criminal. Sheriff, so we had somebody that went into somebody else's crawl space and left a bag with an animal carcass in it?
You know, that happens. I ain't gonna say that happens. That's a new one on
Who
us.
goes into a crawl space if they don't have to?
Well, you're right, but apparently somebody that's really upset with you, would do something.
So we think that's what happened. Somebody did that as a...
As they stink and smell, and
Wow.
But that is a new one on me. I've never,
That's a vindictive person there.
That is a vindictive person.
Well, our crazy criminal may not be as crazy as that individual, because instead of a crawl space, they crawled up into a luxury suite at a sports stadium.
Sound like a good plan to me.
Yeah. So for nearly 2 weeks, 39-year-old Daniel Albert Neha was living at Al Lang Stadium in downtown St. Petersburg, Florida. Of course, fans hadn't been able to go in because of the pandemic, but there were some workers that were still around, and eventually they noticed there were blankets and shaving cream.
It's not that he snuck in to a VIP section to watch a game.
No.
He was living in the VIP section.
Yeah.
A little different.
Living in there. and shopping in the stadium, going in and finding merchandise from the shops that were closed and such.
At least he had a plan. It wasn't a good plan, but he had a plan.
Like I said, better than being in the crawl space of somebody's house. All right, well, that's all the time that we have for this week. We'll be looking for you again next week, but hopefully not in a crawl space or a supposedly closed luxury suite here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.